Good afternoon, everyone in Ngozi Talk Show's family. It's Mamsa here at Ngozi Talk Show's Find Your Own Voice, led from within. With me today, Angie Simpsons and Tamia Dow. And how are you, ladies?
Good morning. I'm doing fabulous, or good afternoon, or good evening to all our listeners. Doing fine.
Good
Thank you
afternoon,
so much.
everyone.
Thank you so much, Tamia and Angie. It's been a long time you being here with us, Tamia. So what have you been up to?
Oh my goodness, life has been good. I'm super excited about projects that I've been working on. I've been doing a lot of movies, writing and acting in different movies. I'm a producer, director, and actor and writer. And I also am an author, so I've had several books come out since the last time I was on the show. So I'm excited about those things and excited to talk about 2022 as we go into 2023.
Awesome, awesome. And also, you chose this topic. Would you like to explain to our audience what the topic mean, and what do you think the audience will really benefit regarding this topic?
Yeah, so usually when it comes to the end of the year, it starts getting close to the end of the year. Everyone's sprinting so quickly towards the next year that they don't really take time to reflect on all that they actually accomplished in the previous year. Meaning, there are some amazing things that all of us have done in 2022, which we're still in 2022. Don't toss it away so quickly. So I think it's important for us to take time to celebrate, reflect, and remember those things that we did accomplish in 2022. Even if this was your worst year, it's important to frame it differently, to look at with gratitude those things that you were able to accomplish in this year, maybe even against all odds. It's important that we focus on that because those things you focus on grow. And it is important also because then it takes us into the new year with a good attitude. When we talk about new year going from one year to the other, that's just a calendar year. I know people like myself that celebrate New Year's multiple times in the year, meaning they'll celebrate Chinese New Year, they'll celebrate this New Year, they'll celebrate the New Year on another calendar. So there's new beginnings beginning all the time, and we can create those new beginnings ourselves. But before we move on to a new beginning, we have to take time to look at the life lesson from the previous chapter, from the previous year, from the previous situation. My background is law enforcement. My background is military. And in military, when we finish any type of mission, so life is a mission, right? And I see little tiny missions along the way. When we finish a mission, we always sit down and we reflect upon, in this mission, what went right, what went wrong, what would we change in the future? And that's how I'd like people to look at the transition, the turning of the calendar from 2022 to 2023. Reflect on the good things. And I mean, take a long time sitting down and writing out from the month of January 2022 till now. All of the things you've accomplished, the people you've met, the obstacles you've overcome. Key, the obstacles you've overcome, the challenges that you overcame during the course of the year, because you want to celebrate them. It is so important that we reflect upon the things that we have successfully gone through. There's a passage in the Bible where it's Psalms 23 where it says, "Yea, though I go through the valley of the shadow of death." Doesn't say, "Yea, though I stay, yea, though I camp out here, yea, though I never move from this spot." It says, "I go through." And this is what we do each year. We go through the year and then we step into a new year. And it's important that we stepped into the new year armed with positive reflections and amazing ideas and goals for next year. And that's another part of what I'll talk about is as we step from 2022 and reflect upon all the cool and amazing things that we do, along with the sad things. In everybody's life, there were sad things that happened. Some people may have lost jobs. Some people may have lost pets. Some people may have lost family members. Some people may have lost good health. All of these things you still need to be in reflection on and frame it so that you understand why. I always ask, what's the lesson? What's the lesson in this? Because I don't want to have to relive that lesson. So let me sit down, take a pause, and say, what is the lesson in this challenge, obstacle, loss that I've had that I need to take in, see how I can improve upon it, mentally get it right, and then how I can share it, how I got through it with someone else, because that's something we need to remember. We go through things for a purpose, for ourselves and for others.
You're on mute, sir.
I'm looking for you. It's like, why is she not responding to Tamia? What is she doing? Or do you want me to go first?
No, if you want, I can follow on.
No, you go. You go.
I just didn't want to know what you wanted to do. I absolutely love that, and totally 110% agree. But to me, what I do and have done since I designed my own unique journal is I don't just wait till the end of the year. I don't just wait till the end of the month. I don't just wait 6 months, 3 months. Actually, every single day, I spend time at the end of my evening reflecting on what I've achieved, what I've learned, because what we go through, we grow through. And I love how you mentioned that to me about what is the lesson, because we've all got lessons and blessings. Every situation that we go through, we learn something different, not only about ourselves, but our peers, our environment. But if we're being that busy ant that I talk about, the busy ant that's building everything else, thinking about this next goal and this next thing that we can have, next shiny new thing, like magpies, we need to sit down. We need to spend time with ourselves, because we don't achieve things, unless we actually learn from something. And like, for instance, when I did my webinar, thank you, Namsa, you said it was great. I actually was, because it was my first ever webinar. And I know I made massive mistakes in there. But if I hadn't have done what I'd done, I wouldn't have learned those mistakes. So the next time I do a new webinar, I know not to do what I did, some of the things that I did and some of the things that I thought was great, just improve on them. So yeah, absolutely. Reflection is such a powerful tool to help you move forward. Rather than and I love it. Another, when you're saying to me about just wishing your time away. I remember when I was a kid, I can't wait to be a teenager. I can't wait to be 16, can't wait to be 18 so I can drink. Can't wait to be 21, can't wait for this, can't wait for that. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, where's that time gone? Because I was too busy in the future rather than being in the now. When we take a step back and be in the now, we learn so much more. And as we would, I'm just going to repeat what you said, Nomsa. We learn lessons, we learn more about ourselves and our environment, because a lot of people don't realize that. They think things go wrong in your life and it's happening to you, instead of thinking it's happening for you. And we we automatically as well go into that blame. It's somebody else's fault. That went wrong because such and such did this, such and such did that, instead of sitting back and reflecting and going, how could I have improved that? So, a lot of people also don't try and achieve something because they're so scared of failure. But failure, I don't agree with failure. I don't believe in failure, because everything that I do, if something doesn't go according to plan, I've learned something. So it's a win. Everything is a win. So like I said, every single day I spend time reflecting on what I've achieved. And then at the end of the month, I also do the same thing and look at what I've achieved, what I've learned, what I've gone through, what's worked for me, but more importantly, what hasn't worked for me. Because if you look at the stuff that hasn't worked for you, then you can build on that. So there is no failure in life, as far as I am concerned. But what you focus on, you attract. It's a law of polarity. You send out love, appreciation for all that you're getting, and you'll get more of that love and appreciation back, instead of going, oh, my life, you know, and I can't do this and I can't do that. Look at what you've got and look at the gratitude in life. And yeah, absolutely agree with everything that you said. Sorry, I can't talk now, Tamir. So over to you, Nomsa.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angie and Tamia. I actually agree with you and Tamia that you have to actually, we have to learn from our mistakes and learn from and be grateful as well. Gratitude. Tamia spoke about gratitude. I think gratitude is very, very important. And also, Angie, you said you live your life like, for me, I'm like you. I don't set goals like for next year, like it's 2023. But when it comes to the company, I always have someone coming in, like now we going to January, I'll have someone evaluating the company, the things. That's what I do. I just bring someone in and look at my weaknesses and look at my strength and how we can improve moving forward. And that person just help me to actually look at the things that needs to improve within the company and look at the gap as well, what I can do to be different from other people, my competitors. And so I do that every year. It's like the whole year I'll have something in place, a system in place. I don't set goals. Because when I set goals, once I achieve those goals, I give up. I have this mind that I will just give up. So what I do is I have a system in place, the things that I'm going to work on the whole year. So once I have that, and also I know sometimes people always say you need to give a time scale. For me, I find if I make a decision on my own, when things don't go my way, I get disappointed and I want it now. And I start blaming the time. Why is it not happening for me? Why is it not happening for other people? So I've learned to give it to God. And I put everything in place and I say, God, I'm going to do my best. And once I do my best, this is your job now to help me to achieve this. I don't know the time scale that you put in place. I don't know the plans that you have for me. That's Tamir Jeremiah scripture. And I don't know the plans you have for me or for my business. Like right now, I'm actually like fasting, like, because we're going to 2023. So I'm going to finish my fast on the 1st of January, but for 7 days, it's the time where I bring all my enemies to court now, the judgment of God. And everything that I have not achieved, I'm asking God to go into my foundation. That's how I set goals. Go into my foundation. I write everything down and just check why I've not achieved this. Did I do something wrong? Then if he gives me a revelation, then I get on with it. Or if maybe I'm going the wrong direction, so then I correct myself. But for those who are setting goals, it is very, very important for them to set goals, because goals are part of success in your career and in your life. So it's very, very important but you have to be smart. You have to set smart goals, and also you have to be specific. Like for me, when I'm writing things, when I'm having a meeting with somebody regarding the business, I have to be specific for the things that I need to achieve within the company. And I have to be honest, the things that were my weaknesses, the things that have held me back that year, like 2022. So I have to be specific. And also for those who are creating goals, you can say them out loud as well. Say your goals out loud so you can remember them easily. And also, if you are setting your goals, your attitude, like let's say Tamia, she's saying she's been busy. her acting, with her acting and her writing. So you have to have an attitude of a writer. You have to have an attitude of a business person, like Angie as well. You own your own business. Like you are saying, you created your webinar, and hopefully next year there's gonna be more webinars. I'm hoping, because I've enjoyed the first one, and your attitude has to be with what you want. You want the best. 2023 to be the best. Every single day, you got to be the best. You got to believe it. You got to live it. You've got to walk it. And you've got to know that God is with you. You're not alone, whether you believe in God or whether you don't believe in God. Some people believe in earth. Some people believe in the universe. For me, I say that God is the universe. The universe is God, because he created the earth. So that's how I say it. So know that you are not alone. Even when you're struggling, you can speak to the earth, because the earth is there. He is God. If you prefer to say, actually, I don't believe in God, but I believe in the earth, you can actually speak in the present moment. And Angie, as well, you mentioned that present moment is very, very important. And I agree with you. It's very, very important to live in the present moment so you can achieve the goals that you want with the right energy, right attitude, creating your identity as well. Once you have all these goals, whatever you're creating, and the right habit as well, creating your habit as well, your identity will be formed that way. So that's how things they go with me. I wish I was everyone else that create goals and say, this is a New Year resolution. I want to go and I want to lose weight. I don't do all those things. For me, losing weight is right through the year. Every single day, I've got to live it. Tamia, where's Tamia?
Yeah, I agree with you. You said, where am I? You don't see me? Hello?
Oh, yeah, there.
Oh, I was like, you don't see me? Yeah, so I love this. I love what both of you have said. To add to this goal, what is so unique and I love about the fact and the way that you both added is that people are unique. Each person who is watching this is going to hear or get a little bit of something different from us. And it is important. I truly, truly love what you said about the not waiting thing. You don't wait and say, oh, I'm going to sit here and lose weight and this and this and this. Because a lot of people will say, we're 2 days away from we're 2 days away from the New Year's now. So if you do start to set those goals now, I get it. I understand. But for me, I was already starting the things and the ideas and the plans that I had for 2023. I was starting them in November. I didn't need to wait till January 1st to make it happen. Here's what's so important about the uniqueness of how we go through the process of moving from one year to another, but as I mentioned before, it could be one project to another, one season to another, as you move from one point that you're used to another point that you're used to. We have to realize that something that is constant in our life is always going to be change. Change is going to be a constant. If we're alive and breathing and we just got up today, there's going to be things that are going to change that were different from what happened yesterday. And we have to be prepared with our mindset on how to move into those things. Now, each person has their own unique way of learning or doing things. Like, for example, if you are auditory, you would prefer to listen to something, you're really intense, you want to hear what the person said or listen over and over to a particular podcast or training class, or so you can get it. And then a lot of people are very kinesthetic, which means, okay, so they've been saying something about right. These people have been saying something about right. Well, I'm a creative, and as a creative, I create through writing. Some people create through drawing. There's different ways that people create and cause their ideas to come into their mind and to go onto paper or wherever it goes out into the world. For that person, then they need to be very hands-on. They need to do it. You can tell them over and over and over again what to do, but if they don't actually pick up a pen or a paper or a paintbrush or whatever to do it, then it doesn't lock in as well as if they were able to physically do it. That's the kinesthetic part of it. But then there's other people who, like myself, are visual. I'm a very visual person. I need to see it. I need to like break it down. I was like, okay, so this person took their hand and did this. Like I played piano as a child, and I'm going to start playing piano this year again. Coming up, I pulled out my keyboards, but it was, for me, when I was learning, I was watching the instructor. I was watching the teacher. And this is what we do in life. We watch the teacher, even as children. We watched our parents. What are they visually doing? And then we mimicked what they did. This is actually how I learned to play the piano. I mean, yes, there was a sheet of music there, and I was supposed to read it and, play the piano on that there. But like now, for the most part, I am the type of person who will pull a video up and I will watch the piano player. I will actually put a video on playing the piano, because this is something that I learned visually. I'm okay. Oh, the hands are there and they're doing this, and this is what that sounds like. And so it works all together, right? I see it. I'm physically doing it with my hands. And then of course I'm listening, because if I hit the wrong key, that wrong key is going to let me know that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I didn't mirror what I saw correctly. When we talk about moving from those one projects to the other, it is important, like I said, to lock it in. Figure out which one of your learning modalities is key for you. Is it audio? Is it kinesthetic? Is it visual? Is it a combination of all of them? And I can honestly say in most parts, it's a combination of all of them, but more so for me, visual. And then go about how you need to move yourself successfully into the next year or next event or next project. I heard Namsa say something which I totally concur with her. I'm not about saying these are the goals that I want to hit like that. Yes, I do want to do that. I'm not going to put a specific time frame on it outside of, with me being in film, I do have to put, we're going to do 10 days here, and then we're going to do our, our post wrap up, and then we're going to start film festivals and things like that. So there has to be time frames there. But the point of the goal is I must be focused and know clearly what my mission is. So this is what I would like you to do from reflecting upon last year. Look at the things you did. I think it's so important to, like I said, write them down. Literally, if you need to go through your phone, I'm being visual, okay? If you need to go through your phone and look at your pictures from January 1 of last year, and then take a pencil out or a pen and write down those things that you saw that you did, because you're going to have forgotten some. Trust me, you're going to have forgotten some of the things that you did, which will actually pleasantly warm your heart when you look and say, oh my gosh, I totally forgot that I did this, or, I went to church and did this, or I met somebody new and it was a unique experience. And look, I took a selfie with them, and this was the lesson I learned from that. I love that. It's such a great reflection, because then it also lets you know what you are doing unconsciously. These are acts of kindness, or even if something bad happened, maybe you took a picture of a burnt pizza that you took home and you had a bad experience, at a restaurant. All of that is part of life's adventures. We have ups and downs. We have good and bad things that happen to us. And it's really all about how we choose to respond to them and how we choose to remember and reflect on them. So when we can turn around and share the message. So figure out from your pictures and, notes, books, whatever you have around your house, literally take the time this year, 2022, celebrate it, reflect upon it. What did I accomplish in 2022? And I think it's so important because, like I said, and like we've been saying, people are running so quick. It's like, I want to get to this other side because the other side was not, or this side was not the best. Yes, it was. It was the best 2022 that you could have had, because you know what? It's done. There's nothing you can do about 2022 because it's now approaching the past. So in the present, what do? Reflect upon what happened in 2022 and how you can use it to successfully go into 2023. And this will help you spell out your mission. What is your mission in life? For my mission in life, I love to help people see the plan that God has for their life. That is my joy in life as a coach, is to just walk people through those things. Like I said, what happened in the past year, what happened in the past 10 years, what happened since childhood. And I know Nomsa knows about this is a journal. This is a workbook journal. It's called In Celebration of You. And oftentimes I take my clients through that. And it's a very helpful, like right now, it'd be very helpful for the reflection on 2022. But you don't need the journal necessarily. Just do as I'm explaining to you. Go back and reflect upon those things that you experienced, because you experienced them for a reason. Now, it will help you understand your mission. Clearly write down a mission statement. What is my mission in life? First part of my mission is to live my life to the fullest. I wake up and I say, thank you, Lord, just like I did this morning. Thank you, Lord, because he woke me up. And then it's like, what would you have me do today? Actually asking for my mission, my marching orders for today from him. And then stepping into whatever it is that he directs me, where the Lord directs me to go. I think that's very important for all of us. Because when you don't have a mission and you wander aimlessly, you miss so much. Along the mission's journey, things are going to happen. They were supposed to happen. Enjoy it. Yet it's like they talk about the ship on the water that has no travel plan. It has no direction. It doesn't really know where it's going. So it's just wandering aimlessly in the water. We want to know. We want to go from, I know I got people here from England and everything. We want to go from this coast. Let's just say it like this. We want to go from the West Coast over to the East Coast and successfully accomplish it. So those are simple analogies, not just get in the water and just float around. And some people that are listening right now are floating through life. You are floating around. Please focus. It's so important to focus, because when you focus your life, the blessings will pour in and you'll be better able to accomplish your mission. Now, as I mentioned, vision. I said vision. What is your vision? Where do you see yourself? Because that's we're going through those modalities. Where do you see yourself in this next new year? Where do you see yourself? What will you be doing? How will you get there? Who do you need to bring along with you to accomplish the vision, the mission that you have for next year? Think about it. Write this down. Why write it down? Because that goes to the kinesthetic. Write it down. Where do I see myself next year? Who is going with me? How am I going to get there? Let me step back to who is going with me. This is very important. Who is going with you is the most important part of your journey. If you take someone with you that's negative, that's not on the same plan as you, that is not focused, they will distract you, they will keep you from getting where you need to go, and they will not support you. And support is so important for you to accomplish your mission and your vision. If you don't have people that can see your vision, if you have people that are putting you down and telling you that doesn't make sense and you'll never do that, if you don't have people in your corner that are walking in the same direction, like Nomsa and Angie and I, we're walking the same direction into successful 2023, and we know how to lift each other up, sharpen each other's swords, so that, when one looks discouraged, we're like, wait, let me remind you of your vision. Let me remind you of your mission. I'm here to walk along with you on your mission, not someone that will sit there and go, girl, you know what? I told you you couldn't do it. One bad thing happens and girl, sit down, rest yourself. Don't worry about it. You don't need to do that. You know what your heart desire is. You know what the Lord has put in your heart. You know what your talents, skills, and abilities are, and you know that you are supposed to use them for his glory, but also to benefit and in service to other people. So do not let someone or bring someone alongside you that is not supporting you along that journey. So I encourage you to reflect on who can help you get to the next level, the next place that you want to go. not always the person you're currently with or the people you currently surround yourself with. So I believe it's Jim Rohn who says, you're the sum part of the 5 people that you spend your time with. And if there are 5 broke people, or if there are 5 negative people, or if there are 5 people stuck in a rut, you don't want to be stuck in that rut with them. So you got to pick a new 5 people. And there is nothing wrong with leaving somebody behind, trust me, because you can't take everybody with you. And not everybody's going to want to go with you. So find your tribe, as they say. Find your team, build your squad to help you get to where you need to go. Now, that's part of your reflection. Now, I told you the third part of the modality was, how do those people that are with you know what you plan on doing? Because you told them. You were auditory. So you went through and you wrote down your vision, you were kinesthetic, and then you said to them, this is my plan, my goal, my mission for this next stage of my life for 2023. I plan to do this. Is this something that you could see yourself doing with me? Now, bear in mind, sometimes your supporters are just going to be mentors or just people who support you. They may not physically walk the journey with you, but every time you pick up that phone and say, oh my goodness, this is what's going on. Hey, sweetie, you got this. Don't worry about it. You know what? I remember when you said this, this, and this. I can't wait till you see that. Do you see what I'm saying? People to encourage you along the way. I travel all around the world and everybody can't jump on the plane with me. I can't take them in my suitcase, but I sure can pick up that WhatsApp and have a conversation with people, in the middle of Nicaragua, over in Curacao, in Costa Rica, which are all the places that I was last year. And I took the people who could encourage me with me. I also had a team of supporters that prayed for me, so build your team is what I'm saying here. Write out the vision. Choose the people who are going to walk the journey with you, whether they physically walk it or they walk it spiritually in prayer, or they just walk it as a supporter. And then make sure that your vision is clearly articulated, and go for it this year. But like I said, it's important that you write these things down or draw them out or create a vision board, whatever it is that you need to do to motivate you to remember each day what your goal is, what your plan is, yet also what you've already accomplished. Okay, so last year I did this and I never thought I would do this. So now next year I'm doing something even bigger. Please believe in yourself and know that you can do it. When you make the choice to do so, the mind is a powerful thing.
I love that, Tanya. That was beautiful and resonate again. Bless your heart. It's like we're reading from the same book. And that quote that you was talking about from Jim Rohn is one of the things that really stuck with me when I got on my own path of self-discovery and recovery, that you become the average of the 5 people that you hang about with. So really, to anybody out there, look at the people, like Tanya says, who are around you. Have you got people that elevate you or people that deflate you? I call them mood hoovers. The people that you get around and you're like, oh, like time they've finished talking. It's not about getting rid of those, but just be careful who you who you spend the time with. Because myself, when I was struggling massively with my mental health, when I got on my own path of self-discovery and recovery, when I started looking back and doing that reflection time, it was like, no wonder I was so bad. And those people are still in my life because they are part of my family. And so it's not a case of me going, right, I can't speak to you ever again. But it's like, I limit my time with them. And I'm very, I'm very careful what I share with them. So I don't get, oh, you don't want to be doing that. Oh, you'll never achieve that. Oh, don't, those mood hoovers, be careful of them. And I love when you was talking about the who, what, where, when, I heard, I was taught to have 5 bums on a H. I don't know if you ever taught that. That was how I was taught how to remember that. So you've got the H, which is the football stand, and then you've got the bums on it. So if you ever are not sure about the questions, just remember that picture, and that's for the visual people. myself, I'm definitely a kinesthetic. I'm very creative. I love being creative, and that's when I get into flow, and that's when things start happening more, because when I start, if somebody tells me how to do something, if I can see how it's done, but if I actually start taking the action, I actually remember it more. So that's where I am with that. And I love the idea of your journal, Tamia. It's amazing. I just want to go back to what Namsa was saying as well about writing the SMART goals. I was taught that quite a few years ago about being smart, measurable, attainable, realistic, timeable, blah, blah, blah. Time, for me, I write it in sand. Because if I decide I want to do something and then I put a time limit on it, if it doesn't happen in the time that I say I'm going to do it, then automatically I go into that failure mode. So for me, I just write it in sand. So I can rub it out if I need to and change it. The other things that I love to add to the SMART goal is the smarter. So going back to what we said earlier, E, evaluate. Most importantly, R, reward yourself every time you achieve something towards that goal. Because for me, one of my goals is to get my bathroom done. It's been a goal for, I can't remember how long, but being a single mom and being a business owner can really be, it takes up a lot of my time, especially with my daughter being a dancer, actor and singer, and still doing her A-levels. I am constantly ferrying her here, there and everywhere. I was telling Namsa earlier, she's got an audition in London on the 15th of Feb at 8:30 in the morning. There is no way I'm going to make it from where I live right down to London at that time and get there. So we've got to go on the 14th of Feb. So I'm sitting there thinking, right, I need to plan this. To my daughters, she's like, what? She's one of these. She'll do it there, and she doesn't really plan. And I said, look, think about it, Summer. 14th of February is Valentine's Day. If we don't get this planned, we're not going to get what we want, because loads of people are going to be wanting to get hotels. People at the moment are thinking about Christmas and New Year and this. They're not thinking about Valentine's Day. Those prices are going to shoot up. We need to get, we can drive in the morning. No. Right. Okay. So we can drive. You mean I can drive in the morning? No, ain't happening. My daughter's like a bear with a sore head in the morning, best of times. There is no way I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning to drive all the way to London with a bear with a sore head. No. So, that I had to plan. And then I sorted bits out. And every time I've looked at it and gone, can I change this bit? So I'm evaluating. And then I'm rewarding myself for every single little step, because these goals can be huge. Going back to the bathroom, I had this goal to do the bathroom by the end of the next year. We've not by the end of this year. Okay, we've got a couple of days. I know it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen because I'm relying on somebody else to do it. And that person keeps moving the goalpost. And I'm like, yes, what I've decided is, right, okay, I could get upset about this person not actually doing what they said they're going to do. I've actually got to look at the situation, take that on board and say, well, actually, I've put the ball in his court. If he's not going to kick the ball back, I need to find somebody else. So what I've been doing over the past few months is collecting a little bit of money for me to then start finding somebody else to do it. So I can't get annoyed with him because I've given him the goal. I've given him the tool. I've given him power over it. So now I need to take control of it and have the power for myself, because I can achieve it. I can find somebody else to help me make it happen. So, with that, it's just because what I've done with the evaluating the reward side of it, I've taken some steps. Like I've bought my shower tray and I've bought the shower screen because I want to walk in shower. And I've also bought the toilet and the bathroom, the toilet and the sink, which is a built-in unit. So every time I got something, I celebrated, whoa, I've got something done towards me having my bathroom done. If it happens in the next 6 months, fabulous. I'll be really happy. If it takes another year, I'll still be happy because I'm going to achieve it, because I know I'm going to achieve it. So going back to what you were saying as well, Tammy, is about writing things down. Hugely powerful. Another, that I'm sure you ladies have heard about, the goal card, to write it down and read it every single day. Now I've got my goals on my in my goal book. I've also got wrote down here, there's a wall here that's got all sorts of stuff. My coach calls it the wall of brain. And I call it something else. GSD, get stuff done. I say something else, but that's my wall. Get stuff done wall. But because when we don't write things down, you see, we can go, and I'm not sure if you ladies know this, we can go 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, 3 minutes without hair, but we cannot go 3 seconds without a thought going through our minds. If we are not present and mindful of the thoughts that are going through the mind, how do we know what we're focusing on? Because as we mentioned earlier, where your attention goes, energy flows. So since I started journaling, and that was purely by accident, not to know the story, I lost my mom in 2018, and it was just in a bid to have a connection with my mom. I found a diary, and I just started writing down in the morning a couple of sentences about how I was feeling, in the evening, how I was feeling, but then I was monitoring 3 key actions. Was I drinking again? Was I reading or listening to positive information? And who was I associating with? So, you know, by noticing those really helped me push forward. And then that became my journal in the end, a year-long undated journal. And I've articulated so many new ideas, new thoughts, and achieved so much in just, it'll be 5 years in a couple of months. And I've achieved so much in 5 years that it blows me away. It blows me away, but that's because I write stuff down and I'm in the present, not in the future. So yeah, I love what you ladies said.
It's good to live in the present moment, Angie. I love living in the present moment, and I love what Tamia said about how who is coming with you through that journey when you decide, like 2023, when you decide to enter 2023, just check you out, who is with you. Sometimes we actually, there are Christians that misunderstand the Bible, like misunderstood everything. Like when they read the Bible, they are like, God says love. If you actually be honest, God says, if you want to enter my kingdom, this is who your image should be. This is who you should be. He has his 10 commandments. So that means he's not forcing you. And that means he wants you to come naturally and love him and accept him for who you are. So like what Tamia was saying, that choose your friends, choose the people that are the tribe carefully. We intend to think that we have to accept everybody. Come to me, I'm being nice. I you know what? I don't like to be horrible to people. You know what? You're not being horrible. If God can actually say, come as you are and accept me for me, don't come into my kingdom and try to change my kingdom. So that means come as you are, accept Tamia for who she is. By accepting Tamia, it means you're going to celebrate Tamia. It means you are going to actually push Tamia, you become an accountability partner without knowing, to actually make sure that Tamia becomes the best. You bring out the best from that person. So, but some people, they make friends, they make tribe, they connect with people, and then that brings sorrow and tears. It brings all sorts. So you have to make sure that when you enter 2023, not just entering 2023, you've got to make sure your life, you've got to check your life out, evaluate your lifestyle, the people that are actually around you. Are they supporting you? Are they celebrating you? Are they okay when you don't feel too good? When somebody says, like, let's say we're going to the movies, the 3 of us, and Tamia goes, you know what, I've changed my mind. I don't think today I'm going to go to the movies. Are you going to be okay with Tamia? So those are the people that you need to be around with, that celebrate, that accept you for you. Because when you set these goals, in order to achieve those goals or whatever the system that you have in place. You're going to have to live in the present, like what Angie was saying. You need to be in the present moment, and you need to know what's going on in your life. Because if you have a distraction in your life, you're not going to know what's going on in your life, because too much distraction, it causes pain, it causes sorrow. So you don't want all those people that come into your life to cause sorrow. I'm not saying go around and judging people. For me, I'm a very, very quiet person. I actually very, very curious about people. But when it comes to my life, it's like here at Ngozi Talk Shows, I'll prefer to broadcast on my own, because I have these coaches that I know, and I have these coaches that accept me at Ngozi Talk Shows with small audience. I'm not big, but they accept me for who I am. It means when I get bigger, I know I already have my family with me. So if my family are not here, I don't have to worry about panicking and saying I need to get a speaker. I get a speaker because maybe, let's say today I'm feeling like it, I need some changes. I'll be like, sending people messages, would you like to talk, to be one of the speakers at Ngozi Talk Shows? But I know that I have live talk shows. They might get the speakers that they have chosen to be permanent at Ngozi Talk Shows. Then I have the group that guest. So if I put a message with the guest and Ngozi Talk Shows, I know these people, they are my family, and I know they've chosen to stay there. So I don't have to worry about anything. So the reason why I'm saying this is because some people believe that you have to actually do things, you have to try to fit in with people. You don't have to. I've learned this character of just accepting that I have my own family at Ngozi Talk Show. That is enough. Because when I actually book a speaker, they're not interested in the clients. Like, what am I going to serve the audience? They want to know how many views they're going to have on the video. So I'm like, are you being serious? The views are not going to give you business. You may have one views, but that customer that is listening to your video, they might be your clients. So I'm like, or maybe even 2 weeks later, you might get clients. So that's why I prefer my own family. So I'm like, if I'm on my own, I'm good with it. So have that character of wanting to achieve your goals, regarding of whatever it takes. And also, I know one day Ngozi Talk Shows is going to be big, and I'm always going to know that I have my own family, and I'm going to look back and say, this is the family that started with me. This is the family that wanted to stick with me. Even if they leave, they're always going to be my family, as long as they choose to be around me, as long as I don't change my attitude. But what Tamia was saying and Angie was saying is, you got to decide when you enter 2023, you don't set goals and then you get fed up with goals. You decide when things get tough, you say, I'm out. No, you don't do that. When you set goals, it means when things are tough, this is when that your life is being tested. You're like, when my life is being tested, I'm like, that means there's something that is behind that I don't know. So I want to push myself more. So it means you set your goals and you push yourself more. When you are presented with the mountains and you can't go around it, you can only go through it. And when you go through it, if you have somebody like what Tamia was saying and Angel was saying, have good people around you. That's when a good person comes in and hold your hands and say, you can do this. And even if you find yourself finding the reasons, 25 reasons to give up, and that person is there, because we know we're human beings. Sometimes there'll be days where I'm not going to feel like broadcasting at Ngozi Talk Shows. But somebody else, Angel, will send me a message and say, Nomsa, you can do this. So it just set your goals and be disciplined. discipline is needed in order for you to get to where you need to be. The discipline is needed. I spoke to Desi a few weeks ago, and he says to me, well done for bringing John Gray to the talk shows. I was like, oh yeah, that's fine, yeah. And he was like, by the way, does he charge? And I was like, no, he doesn't. So he said, how did you find him? I said, I emailed him, and he was willing to listen to my story. And he was like, yeah, sure, I am going to come to your talk show. But I didn't just email John Gray. I email about maybe 3,000 celebrities. Some are coaches, some are speakers. And I got, in those 3,000, I got 10 replies back. I wanted like 15, was it 15 or 21 speakers that I wanted? I think I got 10 replies from them, but the dates were clashing, but I didn't judge myself. So you just have to believe in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, challenge yourself. That's why I'm saying, for me, the time scale is in my head, but I don't set it up, because, like, let's say if I'm writing something, like I have a content for the website that I need to write, I can't put a time scale for that, because what I do is I stay all night. I don't want to go back to, when I start a project, I don't want to go back to it. When I go back to it, it means I'm sending it to somebody else to proofread it, and then they bring it back and I proofread it. But I don't want to actually look at it again. Like when I did the logo, I think I spent all night. I wanted the logo, and everyone else that kept giving me the ideas, they were giving me the ideas that I didn't want. And then Carol Ann happens to be in a talk show that day on Tuesday. She kept saying, you can do this. And I was like, she's actually speaking to me. Does she realize she's actually speaking to me? So I didn't say anything. And then I went back after she's left. I listened my head to the video in my head. She said, you can do this. Anyone can do anything as long as you put your mind in time. Here's me all night creating the logo. Never created the logo before. And then when it came together, I sent it to Rachel, and Rachel sends me a message. She goes, I actually love it. I was like, oh, okay. And then I send it to everyone. Everyone is replying and no criticism. I was like, oh, okay, so I can do this. I was like, okay, I'm loving this. So you can do the things if you want to do it. So for me, if I put a time scale, I write everything. Like right now, the woman, when she comes in and she tells me the things that I need to do, I just distribute whatever needs to be distributed, and I give myself my work. The work that I'm meant to complete in 6 months, it has to take me 3 months. Because if I put a time scale, I become lazy, because I've put like 6 months. But if I know that this is going to be done and get off my side, it means like I'm going to have nights, I'm going to have drinks, I have to buy loads of drinks, I have to eat health, to stay up at night and get things done and just send it off and just do it, just keep correcting the mistakes and but as long as I know it's done, that's how I work. And I just disciplined myself that, like Angie say, write a list. The list is always on my desk. And I look at it, I'm like, the goals, 6 months? That is annoying. It got to be done quick. But without stress, it has to be a choice here as well. You can't do things putting pressure on you. You got to do things in the name of love, in the name of God. God does not want you to do things that are going to put stress on you. If you give me music and you give me the work, I'm done. I'm just going to finish whatever you ask me to do. I just put my music on and I do your work. And I will do it perfectly how you want it done. So without complaining. And that's how I work in life. You have to be disciplined, and you have to know who you are as a person. Your identity as well is very, very important. Tamia, could you please introduce yourself to our audience? We do the introduction late now. We don't do it at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
and
Well,
explain to our audience where they can find you if they need you. And also, if you have any books, please make sure you put the links so that I can put the links on the YouTube channel. Or if you have books on Amazon or whatever you're selling, or please take the stage.
excellent. Thank you so much, Nomsa. Nomsa, first, I want to celebrate you. I absolutely adore you, as you know, since we met, what, 3 or 4 years ago in London at
I
a
know.
speaking event. Yes, I just adore you. I adore your spirit and your energy and your sense of purpose. And of course, you're also another woman of God. So I love that too. And I believe exactly what you just said, because I saw you form the Nkosi Talk Show, and I know how you pulled as many. I mean, you invited a lot of people to the table, and not everybody was able to stay at the table for whatever reason, they had, but you have, because we talked about the people that you surround yourself with, and you have surrounded yourself with some amazing people that support you, even if they can't be on stage with you every day or every month, even, they come back and they lift you up and your mission, because we all really love your mission and the goals that you have for the Nkosi Talk Show. So again, I thank you for just continuing to have me as a part of it. I love you and I love this show. So introducing myself.
We love you too, Tamia. We love you too. We love you too.
I had to celebrate you, so
I'm still waiting for your content, by the way, for your bio. Have you
Oh,
forgotten?
you didn't have it yeah, you didn't have it from before, but that's okay. I'll give you something new, because I've done a lot of stuff since then. So
Well, no, I need your bio that is in bed with social media.
got you.
If you
Okay.
can't do it, send it to Rachel, please. Send it to me. I'll send it to Rachel. Yes, because that means if someone clicks the website and then they can go to your social media straight away. So that's what I need from you, and the updated one.
Excellent. Yes, I'll do that for you. For everyone here, I just want to say that this is a day to celebrate you. This is a day to celebrate you. If all that you heard from me today, you should have heard how important it is for you to reflect upon and celebrate you. So my quick intro is I am currently a filmmaker. So I'm an award-winning filmmaker, a best-selling author. I come from the background of the U.S. Army. So I was in the U.S. Army. Also, I worked for 23 years and retired from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I am an ordained minister holding the title of chaplain, and I'm a certified coach that helps people with success, life, and to write their books. I have been blessed to be able to help over 70 authors write their story. And I've done that through compilations. So we have multiple compilations here. Our most recent compilation went to #1 in 2 hours on Amazon. And it's because of the topic, I'm sure, which is called Forgiveness Is. And forgiveness is, to me, the most important thing that everyone needs to process and cleanse from their system so that they can move forward. Because so often people hold on to issues of forgiveness with themselves, with other people, with God and the higher power as to why this is not happening the way it's supposed to happen. Clarity, cleansing, forgiveness is so important for that. All of those books can be found on Amazon under my name, Tamia Dow. And then I showed you also the journal that I have here for people to help remember those things that you have accomplished, even things you did last month you don't remember, that you overcome and that you did. And it's part of your testimony. It's part of what you share with the world. So I can help you as a coach. And also as a filmmaker, I tell many stories. I'm not a documentarian. Actually, I do documentaries, but I prefer dramas, right? So if you share a story with me, we could put a biopic together, depending on what your story is and what your goal is. So these are some of the things that I do. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share, Nomsa. People can reach me. If you go to Facebook, I'm under my clerical title, and it's Chaplain, CHAPLAIN Dow, DOW, Chaplain Dow. on all other social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Linktree. I am Tamia Dow. So look me up as Tamia Dow on all those others. Also, to find out more about the films that I've made in my filmmaking production company, it's 888 Spirit Productions on Facebook. 888 Spirit Productions. And I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm very responsive through direct messages and private messages on both Facebook and Instagram. Feel free to follow and reach out to me. I just want you to live the best life you can. And if anyone is struggling, I go to this all the time now. If anyone is struggling with mental health, if anyone is struggling with their purpose here on earth, if anybody is thinking right now that it would be better off the world without them, please reach out to me. Because there's a clear purpose for your life. There's a reason why you are here. And the enemy of your soul is going to attack you and want to take you out. And sometimes it tries to get you to take your own self out by, I'm going to say it, folks, you committing suicide. So don't let it happen. Realize that there's more for you. Realize that there's more for you. All right. So thank you, ladies. Oh, I wanted to celebrate Angie too. Oh my goodness, Angie, when you talked about recovery, that is so important. Recovery is so important. Making that decision that something that you're doing in your life is not good for you, is an addiction, and turning away from it. Choosing recovery help and mental health is so important. And there's people who can walk that journey with you. Its resources are available everywhere. You can literally Google it. And I'll make sure that we put something in the comments to encourage people, because this time of the year also, even though we're talking about setting goals, going from 2022 to 2023, some people don't want to see 2023. I'm being real about that. And we want you all to go healthily into 2023, realizing that we love you and that we're here to support you. And we want to see you get to your next level, reach your goals, reach your dreams by making a decision to choose the people who walk with you. And I want to speak about Des. It is so important to have a coach or a mentor in your life to help you stay on track. So get a coach, either from our group or someone to help you. It could also be your sponsor or your recovery partner. But the bottom line is walk the journey with someone who really wants to help you. Because the Bible says that poor associations corrupts good character. And we don't want that to happen. So God bless you guys.
And I'm
Angie, are you waiting for me?
Yeah, I was just about to say, and I'm assuming Namsha was just about to say, Angie, do you want to go now? Because I saw your mouth going and there were no noise, just like now. So hi everyone, and thank you so much, and Tamia, for that lovely shout out. I really appreciate you right now. So for anybody that's not met me before, my name's Angie Simmons. I come from a mining town in England. I'm a single mum, and I'm a personal development and mental wellness mentor. So I've turned my mental mess into my message to help inspire and empower and support women over the age of 25 who are finding themselves stuck in life. They feel like they can't go anywhere. And like Tamia mentioned earlier, they don't really want to be here, because I can totally resonate with you, lovely, if you're listening to me, because I was there in 2014. The start of 2014 was the year that I turned my mental mess into my message and got on my own path of self-discovery to now helping other people. So trust me, if I can do it, anybody can do it. You've just got to want to. And like Tamia says, find the right coach for you to help you. Nonsa, I have put a couple of links in the chat. One is for my year-long undated journal. That the other one is a free 7 days journaling challenge, which I've put out there for anybody to use. If you want to give journaling a try, as I say, for me, I'd been into personal development for quite a few years, but journaling was it was like the last piece of the jigsaw that has really helped me. Trust me, guys, I'm not going to sit here and say to you, I'm all sorted. I still have those days. We all have those days. Most people just won't tell you. But I will have those days when I'm like, and I just want to go in the corner and eat worms or not be around. But you have to push forward. You've been put here for a reason. You are a unique being. So it's finding that unique purpose why you're here. Get hold of it and work for it, because it will happen. Trust me, it will happen. So if you want to find me, you can find me on LinkedIn under Angie Simmons. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook under Growth Development Foundation. And my website is on the screen right now. It's www.growthdevelopmentfoundation.co.uk. And that is also another thing that I'm always keeps changing as I evolve. So I look forward to speaking to people. And as I say, just be in the now, be present with you and love you for who you are. Thank you, Namsa. And thank
you so much, Angie and Tamia, and we appreciate you guys. I'm sure our audience really appreciate you. I've put your links anyway on YouTube, so they are all there, so you don't need to worry about anything. I don't have Tamia's links. I'm sure you're going to send them to me on WhatsApp.
Yes.
When we finish, so I can link them, so anyone who wants the books, then they can just click at the bottom of the video and just get have a look at what the books are all about, maybe make some purchase. It's 2023. Got to have something in your life that you believe in, some beliefs, and journals as well. Journaling for me, like Angie is just saying now, that not everyone is perfect. Got it all under control. You'll find me in my house when things are not well. I'm just like praying to God and like, God, think my life is not working. So you have to have some sort of belief that you believe in, so things can work. And also know that life is not about achieving goals. It's about celebrating those small things that we achieve. Some people, they focus on goals and they forget to celebrate themselves, and they forget to celebrate those small achievements that they have achieved. So as we enter 2023, remember to celebrate you, and remember to celebrate those little things that we take for granted as well. And that's how I live my life, is knowing that regardless of whatever is going on in my life, but I look at the things that where God has pulled me through, and knowing that if He can pull me through that mountain, that means I can climb the other mountain. Remember, there is a mountain of climbing for success, and there is another mountain for being successful as well. And when you start judging yourself, when you see yourself, you don't fit in with everybody else, and that can become like a lonely world. But if you know that you're not alone and you have the right tribe, you'll be okay. So we are here at Ngozi Talk Shows, guys. If you want to connect with Tamia and Angie, please connect with them directly to their social media. If you can't get a hold of them, you can connect them with them through Ngozi Talk Shows. And we are here Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. Tomorrow is Friday, so I think I'm on my own tomorrow. I'm not sure. So live with grace, everyone, and God bless.
God bless everybody. Nomsa, you won't be alone tomorrow. I'll join you.